Last orders at the bar!
A night in with Mauler and the drinker, getting trashed with the web screen thinkers. A cheap night cause I'm feeling kinda thrifty, got a 10-pack of beers and a bottle of whiskey. Hop up the cork, have a glass of wine, I'll say, God'll be mine. Trouble walking in a straight line, but pour me a Pinot Noir. It's open bar with our hosts, Mauler and the critical drinker.
Well, hello. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Open Bar 130 Last Orders. Get the last orders in at the bar so we can carry on our drinking a little while longer, and then we'll be on our way home.
Mm-hmm. Driving home, of course.
Well, it's the only way to do it, yeah. I think if American movies have taught me anything, it's that you can get absolutely blind drunk and then just get in your car and toddle off home. It's great.
I have a
There's
tricycle,
issues.
so
Yeah.
safety
Can
first.
you get arrested for drunk in charge of a tricycle? There's only one way to find out.
The top speed is just so low.
Yeah. You could cause havoc with it, I guess. Or you could just drive it into traffic and then cause lots of other problems for other people. So
Disorderly conduct for sure.
yeah, exactly.
I've never trusted tricycle owners anyway.
There's something nefarious about them.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's a bit of an odd breed of people. But anyway, we're here and we've got a bunch of super chats from you guys that we didn't get through on the night. So we're just gonna go ahead and see if we can answer them for you. So the first one here is Dennis Kiergaard, who says it's not a knife, it's a spoon. It is, yeah. We've played knifey spoony before.
Mhm.
B-Takes says Muller has time to rewatch all Captain America's and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Also, Muller doesn't have time to watch Black Sails. Ooh,
You know the Black
Muller.
Sails is longer than all of those films put together, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Comparison to the work so well. But no, yeah, I mean, I got job responsibilities and then the things I would get to watch in my free time, and the free time one is small right now in terms of what I can watch. And besides, Black Sails is something I don't even want to watch on my own. I want to watch with a friend or something, because apparently it's very good.
Yeah, so I'm told. Michael Whitehead says, Mega Drive, make England great again, drinker vindicates everything. I see what you did there, and I like it. Thank you. Matthew Dens says, in memory of the... What's that? I guess what you were trying to say is memory of before times, who do you feel is the best MCU villain? Zemo, Vulture, Thanos, Mysterio, and Green Goblin are my contenders. So who do we like as our villains?
Upon rewatch as well, I would say it's probably Zemo. I adore Zemo. It's such a cool idea.
He's a man with a mission, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like the only villain that wins in the MCU.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, I quite like that. I mean, Thanos obviously is pretty interesting. Just
Well, the Infinity War one was.
Yeah, then we got a very different Thanos in the end, but like that version was cool. I liked him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bob, the awesome Bob, says Die Hard with a period. I know, gosh, that G20 trailer, it was special.
I thought it was one about the cleaner.
I mean, well, take your pick, really, yeah. Superfly says, did you see the Final Destination Bloodlines trailer? If so, what are your thoughts?
Well, have you seen it?
No.
So it's like, I think it's a tattoo parlor, and it is an extravagant, silly death that's quite brutal and painful, and that's at least maybe that's the one I saw. The trailer wasn't a series of like what the story's going to be about, characters, locations. It was just a scene of a guy getting brutally killed by death, and it does give a sense of like, well, I guess we're back, and
Here we go
I don't
again.
know what the box office will do for this, but I know that people like Final Destination at least somewhat, so we'll see.
They're just fun movies. I guess you're not meant to think too much about them. They're just about the spectacle of death. You know,
I mean,
just
the series became like, there's a person sitting at a desk, there's a paperclip, a glass of water, and a gun. How will he die? You're like, will he shoot himself? It's like, no.
Yeah.
Like, oh, will he swallow the paperclip? Will it go in his eye? And you're like, no. He will drown in that cup of water. You're like, oh, okay.
It's so funny as well because the series has been going since what 2002, something crazy like
Something
that.
like that, yeah.
It's like some of these franchises, man, they just never stop. It's like the Fast and the Furious, like that's been going since I was in high school. I think Mission Impossible. I think I was in primary school when the first one came out.
Well, now it's the next one. In fact, this
Yeah.
year's got another Saw, another Five Nights at Freddy's, another Final Destination, and I think another Scary Movie. It's just like, god damn, so much stuff.
So many sequels. I thought last year was the year of sequels, but I guess it's not stopping.
I guess it's every year in 2020.
Are they really doing another Saw movie?
Yep.
God help us all.
I think they're doing them until Tobin Bell dies, and he's pretty old.
He is pretty old, but he's always been old. So I feel like he's almost invincible from dying of old age now because he's always been
True.
old.
It's so
Yeah.
funny though, the fact that like they killed him in the third one, and we're on like the 11th, and they just have to keep casting him because like, well, what will be the point in Saw without him?
I mean, for sure, yeah. And like for a long time, it was just like, well, you know, you get to see flashbacks of him, and he actually was busy setting up all this other stuff, and he's got apprentices and followers and all that stuff. And now they're just like, oh, fuck it, we're like,
We've had,
we're
like,
not even going to
3
try and
prequel
de-age
movies.
him. We're just going to do a bunch of like prequels now with him.
Yeah, so funny. Like you can tell they're probably mad at. I think it was Lee Waddell who decided to kill him in the third one. They were like, "You fucker."
Yeah. Well, isn't it? Didn't they do something like that with Han in the Fast and the Furious movies, where he died in like the third one, and the actor or the director just really liked the actor, and so they brought him back. But like all the other movies after that were like prequels leading up to the third one, and
I
then
don't know
after
anything
that,
about Fast and the Five Nights at Furious.
honestly, like the amount of like time twisting nonsense they did to just justify this actor still being in the franchise was absurd. And then they almost caught up with themselves with Fast 9 or something.
Yeah,
And then they just decided, you know what, his death was a fake, and he didn't actually die, and now he's back again. Everything's fine.
there you go.
So
Solve it.
stupid. Yeah, that's that series more than any other. Like, you know, we talk about like, oh, no one's truly gone. With that, they really aren't. Like, characters just straight up come back from the dead, and no one cares. It's great.
Well, yeah, whatever works.
Yeah. Next one is James Moore, who says streaming movies 9.9 times out of 10 are terrible. Direct-to-video / DVDs had a chance of being good or even great, like Aladdin and The King of Thieves. I think, well, I guess to expand on that a little bit, I think there's so much more quantity now. It's easier to get shit films made than it was, 20 years ago when we didn't have streaming services.
Yeah,
There's less of a filter there, and so yeah, like this person was saying, if something had millions of dollars invested in it and it at least came out onto video or DVD, there was some kind of safeguard of quality there. Like, it was still a film of some sort. But yeah, with streaming now, it's just like anything gets commissioned. It's quite remarkable. And yeah, so many of them are they're not even terrible. They're just forgettable to the point like you either forget them after you've watched them immediately, or you've just got no interest in watching them in the first place because there's so many.
yeah.
Jacob Levy says, "Hail to the drinker and the panel. I was wondering if any of you have seen Upgrade. It's a bit like John Wick mixed with the Terminator, made with a budget of just $3 million. Yes, I've seen it. It's good.
I meant to have seen it. Isn't that Lee Winnell as well? The guy who made Saw? I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure who directed it. I just know the action scenes and stuff they're pretty inventive, and they do a lot with a very limited budget. And it actually has kind of a neat ending that I didn't expect. So, yeah, overall, pretty good film. I like to see things like that getting made. Gaius Alexander says, "Hail to the panel. Just came to talk shit until he finishes the TFA critique. We all need to call him Maul A.R.R. Martin." Sorry, man.
Very well.
Burned
Indeed.
Cuban 922 says Air Force One is the best Die Hard clone. We were talking about this the other night. I personally do like Under Siege because it's got battleships in it, but Air Force One took itself a bit more seriously, and Harrison Ford was pretty good in it.
Yeah,
And Gary Oldman, man, he smashed it.
as per usual.
Panda23 says, their blackmail to control the narrative wouldn't even work since everyone would know that these politicians' voices have been compromised. Yes, they would. But, you know, why let reality get in the way of a not-so-good story? Ali Mac says, sup, drinker and gang. Unrelated, but I was curious. Star Wars is a great story, but told by a drunk guy from Modesto. Should they do a reboot and tell it in order, and that can help the storyline? I mean, not really. I don't really want to see those movies get made again. I don't want to see Empire Strikes Back made for modern audiences. So, nah. You could do something crazy now, like actually watch them in order if you want to. It's okay if you've got them available.
Yeah.
So, it's fine now. Jailer Krend says, can everybody write down the people who are in the Face Door Avengers Phase 4 and compare lists, please? Would you review Rogue Heroes on MGM Plus? So, Christ, yeah. Who's even in the Avengers at this point?
So we have Captain Marvel, right?
No, I mean, she's not really in it because, like, she has to go off and save galaxies and stuff. So,
okay, Doctor Strange.
He's off in the multiverse. Like, wasn't that the whole premise of Captain African American Man, where like he's told to reform the Avengers with him leading it, which kind of implies that they're just defunct now.
Yeah, which doesn't make any fucking sense at all. But hey, that's just the way it is.
Yeah. So I think we'd struggle to really list anyone. Yeah, let's go with him. He is the Avengers now.
Him and the Wasp.
Yeah.
The full team.
Stephen English gave us a £10 super chat, so thank you. Jailer Kren says, wait, are we in Phase 5 now? I don't even know. I'm not entirely sure I do either.
Phase 5 began with Quantumania.
Did it really?
Yep.
Wow. Mm-hmm. What a phase it's been, huh?
It's been incredible. I don't even... Wow, Phase 5. I can't wait for Phase 6.
Yeah, 7.
We're probably in Phase 6 right now.
Yeah, we didn't even know it. It's the stealth phase.
Mm-hmm.
Lunar Cat USA, the CIA, says G20. They made a 20th version of Gatorade already. I know, right? Who could have expected it? But they're always perfecting it.
Yeah.
David Gannon says, let's do Die Hard on the Enterprise D. Yes, that's what we talked about the other night. Shindo Versus says, what's up, Open Bar? I just wanted to say to you guys are great. And guns, 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 guns. Did you like that line from the trailer more?
Where soundtrack, it was fucking great.
Oh, banging, absolutely banging. Mr. Tickle Trunk says, Home Alone is the best Die Hard clone. Home Alone is good.
Yeah, it's like kids Die Hard.
Yeah. Aided Clock says, didn't John McClane have to step on broken glass in Die Hard and was wearing basically rags in December? I don't think they could show someone going through that much pain anymore. That is true. Yeah, you're not going to see Viola Davis going through broken glass like that.
No.
I did always wonder, right? Why didn't they just like chase him down and kill him in Die Hard? Because like he would be clearly very easy to track when he's leaving a trail of blood.
Hey, listen, every perfect movie has imperfections.
Yeah. I mean, I get that they got their detonators, which is what they really wanted, but like Carl must have been super invested in killing him by that point.
There's his personal investment. There's also just the reality of if we leave him alone, he's going to ambush us at some point.
Yeah. Mexican Iron Man says, great to see George on the panel and shout out to Chris for amazing award this show. What a night. Hail to the drinker. Thank you, sir. And yes, it was great to have them both on. Margie M says, going to see it tomorrow for Valentine's Day. Fingers crossed that it's good. I don't know if that's the G20 trailer or are you talking about Captain America?
Their fingers crossed it would be good? Okay.
Yeah, after listening to us like rant about it for an hour, I don't think so.
Well, hope springs eternal or whatever.
Yeah, the Heathen Monk gave us a super sticker, so thanks, man. Captain PKC 1981 says, "I'm sorry, G20, but any active current member of US Gov / Parliament would be pissing their pants. Unrelatable. Boo." That's true. Grant Matheson, the next Charlie's Angels, Haley Atwell, Christina Hendricks, and Sydney Sweeney. Sign me up for that. Sounds all right.
Yeah, it seems a pretty cool movie. Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Shadix Thunder. All we need is Die Hard Star Wars with DEI Jedi. Sure. We need more of that in Star Wars, definitely. I do like the idea of Die Hard in Star Wars, though. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're building on freaking Coruscant gets taken over by terrorists who've got lightsabers or something, and like a rogue Jedi has got to fight their way out.
Yeah, like Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. Stanley Spadowski says, "Did Sam do enough in Brave New World to finally qualify for a small business loan from that local bank?"
I think we said on the EFF stream, but like one missile from Red Wing would buy 10 of those boats.
Yes.
So fucking stupid.
I mean, he did get a beer bought for him, or he got it for free or something. So I don't know if that was meant to be a nod to
how now that he's Cap, he can afford things.
Well, no, more just like he's well known now, and so they're like, yeah, you know what, Captain America, this beer's on me.
I just thought that was the insecurity of the whole film, constantly finding times to call him Captain America.
Yes.
Captain America, Captain America, Captain America, Captain America. You're not Steve Rogers. He doesn't say anything.
Spicy Boy Reviews says, G20, a Kamala Harris fantasy. I have a love for 90s Die Hard-esque films. Speed starring Keanu Reeves is the best in the genre. I even did a review of it for my 100th episode. Love you, gentlemen. Thank you, man. And would we really classify Speed as a Die Hard clone?
It is considered something that was influenced by it. My assumption is that the person who made Speed must have mentioned that they were inspired by Die Hard or something for some reason. Because there was the Netflix sort of Die Hard, the movies that made us episode. I think it references Speed as one of the sort of successes of trying to pull off a similar thing. So because I get you, I'm like, it's like people say Die Hard on a bus. It's like
because Keanu Reeves, he's not like a lone guy trying to take on a superior force and like sneaking around and like trying to use the environment to his advantage. It's very much like it's a bunch of people have to band together on this bus who like confined together against one guy who's holding them hostage.
It feels like we're getting a little too far away from it. It would be like saying John Wick is Die Hard, but an assassin who gets revenge.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
What? That's not.
And I like Speed. It's a neat movie, but I don't see it as a Die Hard clone.
Taken as Die Hard, but his daughter gets kidnapped. Like, okay, everything is Die Hard.
It's Die Hard, but in a woman or something.
That was just sci-fi Civil War drama in space. Die Hard. All right.
Shark Dentures says, every time I hear Fringy talking, I think I'm hearing Ben from Viva La Dirt League. Okay.
Well, good.
I don't know what that is, but sure.
Yeah.
Jay Smart says, went to Disneyland. At the Avengers section, they stopped everything for a small display with Ant-Man, Wasp, and Falcon because the rest are dead. And all I could think was, oh boy, I sure feel safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're looking out for you, you don't have anything to fear. Paul Stramby says, when Captain America First Avenger came out, we did not know how good we had it. How right you are.
Yeah.
Skull Leader says Sabra was a victim of modern audiences. I think she was, by the way, because it would take a lot for Marvel to cut a girl boss out of their movie.
They would have realized pretty quickly. There would have been several conversations with how the marketing was going. They'd have been like, can we cut her out? And then I guarantee you they'd already prepped a cut that she wasn't in as much. They were probably like, yeah, we thought this might happen.
Yeah. I feel bad for the actress. I always do when things like this happen, when it's like they've probably given their best. And
it's a particularly unique feeling to record probably a whole different movie, go to the cinema, watch it, and be like, wow. Okay.
Yep. It's like, that's all I'm getting? Really? Guess this isn't my ticket to the big time. Drake Timbershaft says, I propose that they reshoot Cap 4 again, but this time they have Sayatama from One Punch Man fight Red Hulk.
Saitama, and yes.
Sorry, butchered his name.
I'd be on board with that. He'd be very funny.
Zed says, Molly and Friggy, on a scale of let's go to peak fire, how would you rate it? We are so back. Love you.
Yeah, there's plenty of that online, but it's also, I don't know if you saw my tweet, but like the discussion of, oh, come on, we've always had plenty of shit films. It's like, is that where we're at now?
Yeah.
Damn.
Just accept the shit, because we used to have bad stuff in the past occasionally.
To me, it makes me think like even the shills who would just gobble it up, all of the slop, are like starting to regurgitate and be like, I can't do it anymore.
I can't swallow any more sludge. God. Robin Windwalker says, was there blood on the wings and evil music? Sadly, there was neither.
If there were, though, we'd know he was a bad man.
Yeah. JRL1436 says, hello, gentlemen. Do you think they chose Japan as the enemy because Japan is taking away American market for telling stories? I think it shows the writers' egos. Anyway, have a blessed day. No, I honestly think it's just they know that this celestial thing is in the Indian Ocean, and so there's only so many countries that kind of border that they could realistically fight over it, and China is not acceptable as an enemy. So,
and it's super coward. It's like any grand world power, someone was probably like, oh, I can't choose them because of the thing that's happening. It's like, oh, okay. Like, who can we choose? Like,
well, yeah, and like with China, it's like, well, it's too big a potential market. We can't, we can't criticize them. Aided Clock says, you forgot Fringy. The weakness to vibranium is chairs. Also, Falcon, Red Hulk, you've got to do better.
Remember that? Yeah, Batroc, he took out the shield with a chair.
I did not know that.
That was Falcon the Winter Soldier. You did see that show, right?
Yeah. I've forgotten a lot of it.
I was going to say, it's been a while. 2020, was it, that show?
I think so, yeah. It's where the Dara Milaje just like remove Winter Soldier's arm and just completely cuck him in front of everyone. It's like, oh, okay, that's nice. One of the most dangerous soldiers in the universe.
That they can do whatever they want wherever they go, and then the people online were like, "That's cool," and it's like, you fuckers are so stupid.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like fucking John Walker, like, oh, how dare you like launch missions in foreign countries? You can't do that. Like. Fuck
Even though he's just trying to chase down Falcon, who's already doing it.
Yeah. I hate so much of what that show chooses to be. And I especially just, ever since, like, Civil War, they have absolutely destroyed Winter Soldier. He used to be, like, such a fucking cool character. Now he's just, a guy that just hangs out in the background. They've got no idea what to do with him.
Dude, he's like one step away from Red Guardian. He's just a punching bag.
Yeah,
it's like, look at Bucky being the goober, Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
used to be a very serious character in the 3 Cap movies.
Hikira says, so what you're saying is I should just rewatch Sonic 3 again instead of Captain DEI. Bow your heads low, all hail. Thank you. And
Sonic 3 is good.
Yeah, watch that.
At least funny.
Darkest Aurelius says, hey, Falcon was denied a bank loan. Best character development ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it truly was. Shaker Silver says, Steve standing up to huge threats and for his ideals, even when he outgunned, is very much his point, i.e., I don't like bullies, or I could do this all day. Yes.
Hell yeah.
100%.
Like, I think this might have been on FNT, but I said, like, if in Civil War, we're about to have the big fight between Steve and Tony likes prepping up his Iron Man suit, and then Cap gets out his vibranium armor, vibranium shield, his Falcon wings, his Ant-Man helmet, and missiles and lasers. We'd be like, what in the fuck is happening?
And his stupid little drone things that shoot laser beams at...
And it's funny because someone might be like, well, there might be good reason in the story for him to have those things. It's like, no, it's your job as the writer to make sure that doesn't happen. Nobody wants to see Cap doing that shit. That's not him.
Yeah. The Seven Liner says, been a fan since your Bond actors ranking video. Oh, damn. Who would you have cast instead of Craig if you went back to 2006? That is a really interesting question, right? Because you know how they've leaked the audition tapes for a lot of the actors who were trying out for Bond back in 2005.
Right.
Have you seen them?
I haven't seen them, no.
Ooh, they're rough. Because like they're audition tapes, so like I guess they're just filmed on like camera phones or whatever in their hotel rooms, and they are like they're playing a scene from GoldenEye, where Bond meets Xenia Onatopp in the casino for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I guess just to like give them a chance to like put a few layers onto their performance, and it's a decent meaty bit of dialogue where they can try and be suave. And it's like you've got guys like Anthony Starr and Sam Worthington trying out for the role. And
Yeah.
good lord, yeah, they're pretty rough. Even Henry Cavill, actually, like he tries his best, but I can kind of see why they didn't cast him then, because he was only like 20 years old. It's clearly way too young. Bond should be like mid-30s at least.
Yeah, that's probably balanced with the fact that they're like, we want to have a Bond for a while as well. So
Sure. I mean,
you-
well, I mean, even Craig was like, I don't know, he's about 38 or something when they cast him. So not
Yeah.
exactly super young, but right around the right age bracket, I think. It's just perhaps he hung in there a bit long. So yeah, like when we're talking about the pool of talent that we have available in mid 2000s, who else could we potentially pick there? Hugh Jackman, maybe, if he could do the British accent.
I'm not sure about that. I'd happily give him a chance. It's just that I don't know. I associate Hugh Jackman so far away from James Bond in terms of the characters he's often played, but he is an excellent actor. So
Yeah. There was talk of Clive Owen for a while. I'd be interested to see his take on Bond, actually.
I think the problem for him is whether or not he can carry the whole package. We'd have to again. It'd be nice to give him a shot at it. All of these people, to be honest with you, and then decide from that. I guess that's the point of auditions, but you probably want a more thorough audition, right, with prep.
Sure. I mean, like you'll take the audition tapes, and then it's like, okay, let's bring them into the studio and get them kitted out, and we'll do a proper screen test and see how that went. Like, have you ever seen the Sam Neill screen test of Bond?
I think I have seen that actually. Yeah,
that is kind of fascinating, actually. Like the idea that the idea that he could have played Bond is kind of crazy. Like
it is, because I just do not associate him with that kind of archetype at all.
For sure, yeah. Like certain actors have just got a persona like that extends beyond their acting range, and yeah, his one didn't really include Bond, I don't think. But yeah, these are all things that could happen in some crazy alternate universe.
Yeah.
Shadix Thunder says Sam understands the sacrifices and trauma of a soldier when he was a counselor, but the TV show ruined that. He abandoned John because my shield wasted.
Yeah, it was horrifically bad character assassination that whole season.
Yep. Pi3766 says, if the leader is so smart and can predict everyone's actions, how can he predict Ross wouldn't let him go?
I don't know. Though his plan to sabotage Ross began years before Ross had betrayed him.
Oh, it's retardation.
Yeah, and the fact that he just gets out immediately once the betrayal has happened, it's like, why didn't you just get out before?
Yeah. And yeah, like this, because yeah, like this is a classic example. We're constantly told how intelligent he is, but like nothing he does really like bears that out.
Oh, then they show us him yelling because his plan failed, right? It just like that just undermines him. He looks like a moron.
Yeah, well, you're getting into Riddler territory then. Like, no, this isn't how it's supposed to go. Silent Evil says, it's my birthday, gents. Looking up a list of movies turning 30 from 95. What bangers. For the occasion, I've already watched or rewatched Demon Knight, Billy Madison, and In the Mouth of Madness. So many good ones. Yeah. Was Pulp Fiction 95 or is that 94?
Oh, I can't remember. Good question, though.
Let me tell you. Let me consult the almighty oracle. So, it was 94. Sorry. Oh, well. Next one is Hound of Ill Omens. Says, so based on what I'm hearing, they turned the Falcon into Discount Avengers. Yes.
The man himself is the Discount Avengers, yeah.
Jay Fraser 360 says, "Hail gents, best film with the Die Hard formula." I think I gave mine already. I think it was Under Siege.
Not including Die Hard, obviously, because
Exactly.
probably Die Hard. What? I'm trying to remember what like options we've got.
So you got Air Force One. You've got Under Siege. Would we count Cliffhanger, where it's like Die Hard on a mountain?
Well, would we count The Rock?
Let's see. List of Die Hard clones. Let's see what we get here. So yeah, Cliffhanger's listed there. Con Air, I wouldn't really class that as a Die Hard clone. Sudden Death, yeah, that definitely is. That's Van Damme. The Rock is listed, so there you go. Yeah,
that might be my pick. I've got a serious soft spot for The Rock. I love it.
Executive Decision is one as well. Actually, that movie's quite underrated. I like that one. Olympus Has Fallen. They're all just like fallen. Angel has fallen. London has fallen. White House down.
The West has fallen.
Yeah, Snakes on a Plane
has fallen.
Skyscraper with The Rock.
Hey,
another
one. He's got one leg, right?
Yeah, another one of his fucking forgettable movies. Dread. That is kind of like Die Hard, but John McClane's just an unstoppable monster.
Yeah, I can see why someone would class it that way.
I love how Phone Booth is listed. It's like Die Hard in a phone booth.
Phone Booth is pretty fucking unique. I wouldn't say it's a Die Hard clone. I would say it's Phone Booth.
I like it. I actually think it's a good movie. I enjoy watching it.
I remember liking it. I haven't seen it in forever.
Yeah. But oh well, yeah, that's our list of Die Hard clones. Next one, Hostile Hippie. Bucky in Winter Soldier versus Bucky later on is like fighting a badass boss and then unlocking him as a playable character later, and he just sucks now.
Yes, that's 100%. The fight between Cap and Winter Soldier in Winter Soldier is like one of the best fights in the MCU, and they've never replicated it, really.
Yeah. Desregard says, not only did Black Panther terrify critics into praising it, but it was also Mahler's first experience being called a racist over a review.
Yeah, which I was not prepared
for. First time, huh?
Like, Rags had to sort of ease me in, be like, you know, this is like it's gonna be common. I was like, why would it be common? He was like, it's because how the internet works. It's just you criticize the film that's being heralded as like the first black superhero somehow. So yeah.
I mean, the entire thesis of my review is like people are just praising this because of like the politics and the meta behind it, and like everyone's terrified to criticize it because they don't want to be called racist. And then if you see a bunch of people in your chat going like, you're such a racist for hating this, it's like, well, you've literally just proved the point I was making, so well done.
Yeah, because I was almost too nerdy to realize. I was just watching the film as a story, and I didn't think it was very well written at all. It was a fucking mess, and I was quite excited to see what Black Panther's film was going to be, because I thought his intro in Civil War was excellent. So I was like, this is going to be fun. And then I was like, what the fuck is this mess?
Yeah.
Why is he so shit? Why is he whiny? Why is Okoye like embarrassing him? What is going on?
Why does Wakanda make no sense as a
why
society?
Are they assholes?
Yeah, exactly.
Why do they have trial by combat for their king? What the hell is that backward ass shit?
Yeah, but it's like you can't point that out because that makes you a racist.
So many people tried to justify that was more advanced than like democracy.
Oh, fuck off!
What are you talking about?
That is just like pure brain cancer when people have gotten to that point.
Yeah.
Haywood Jablamy says, Mahler, I implore you to do EFAP for Dark. It truly is the GOAT. So many payoffs, incredible cinematography in every shot, plus every character has a story. Do it, or I'll personally shorten your videos. Ooh.
I'm so sorry. It does suck when there's something that's like top tier, but I just don't have passion for it. Because I did watch, I think, 2 seasons of Dark, and I thought it was good, but I just wasn't feeling it. It happens, you know?
No, I get you. 100% do. Parrot Dad says, Invincible is better than the entire MCU. I'm not sure I'd go that far, because peak MCU was pretty damn good back in the day. John H says, watching only the opening for car crash from Dark Phoenix before X-Men Apocalypse makes me more invested in Jean Grey than pre-Cap 4 Sam Wilson scenes.
That was a lot.
Yes.
I almost feel like I had to de-riddle that.
Yeah, so watching just the opening car crash from Dark Phoenix before X-Men Apocalypse makes me more invested in Jean Grey than Sam Wilson. So yeah, before Sam Wilson became Cap, basically, which is fine
I can't
because like he
remember the
doesn't.
car crash.
I'm not sure, but yeah, Sam didn't have like a huge amount going on before he became Captain America. He was just kind of like a bit of a
Well,
sidekick. He's cool,
he
but
was a sidekick. He was a wingman, and it was more than like, it's the kind of thing where it's like now is the time with Cap gone that you can really flesh him out in his own story. But instead, they were like, "Well, no, we got to give him a Cap story." It's like what? What are you
yeah,
talking about? Do you remember how he got offended when Walker referred to him as Captain America's wingman?
I stopped caring about one episode
It's
in.
it's so insane. It's like you are literally his wingman. Like
Yeah.
you operate as such in a colloquial sense, but you are the man to his wing with wings on. Are you like retarded? And then he refers to Joaquin in the film as his wingman. It's like, well, that's pretty offensive, bro.
It's okay when he does it, though. It's kind of like the whole Wakanda approach. It's okay when they do it.
I hate it all. It's so shit.
Yeah.
Ooh, these writers.
Boo to them. Jeremy Soden says, coming up with an ordering of MCU movies sounds like prime EFAP material. Also high fringy.
Well, I mean, yeah, it could be an EPAP episode. Whoever does it, we'd have to find some kind of system that wouldn't piss off the whole audience because I don't think EFAP's ranking is going to represent the world's ranking for the MCU at all.
You're going to make a lot of people mad.
Oh yeah, Winter
Yeah,
Soldier will
guarantee
be
that.
low. People are not going to like that.
Yeah. Carl Kelso. Call me when Sam Wilson could pick up Mjolnir. Thor said, I knew it when Steve Rogers wielded Mjolnir, and it wasn't because of Steve's costume.
No, yeah, 100%. Steve proved it.
Yeah. Big J says, Drinker, you should contact Rob Ager of Collative Learning to get him on Open Bar. He's a fellow Scotsman and he's been doing film analysis on YouTube for a long time. All right. I'll take a look, see what he's up to. Vor Axelon, the Wise, says, Vision and Cap were the only two that could move Thor's hammer, yeah? Cap a little bit and Vision a lot. Would Sam be able to move it at all? Is that a metric for worthlessness? What do you think?
So with Vision, he's like a synthetic being. So you could argue that either the hammer doesn't quite recognize him as anything different than like a chair, or that he truly is 100% altruistic and runs on like logic and has no interest in anything selfish. As for Steve, I mean, I'm assuming you know about this, right? But like he nudges it in Age of Ultron, and
Oh, yeah.
there's a couple of theories for why that happens. One of the more accepted ones is that he didn't want to embarrass Thor, which I don't buy personally, because it looks like he's trying, and Thor looks a bit worried, which I think is very funny. But what I think is happening is something that I essentially retconning in, but the fact that Steve at that point was lying to Tony about his parents and how they died. It's like the one thing that he does that's selfish in the whole of the MCU. And once it's out, once he says he's sorry and that he made a mistake, we know he can pick up the hammer easily after that. So I assume, like, that's how I take it with the story, is that was the one thing he was holding on to selfishly. And once he's rid of it, the hammer considers him fully worthy.
I almost wondered if it was just the act of heroism that he was willing to make that last stand in front of Thanos and his entire army, knowing that it was certain death, but like just refusing to back down, and that's what made him worthy of the hammer. Like that
As much as
sheer
I think
heroism.
that's totally fair as a pick. He's obviously done that a few times already. Like,
Yeah, I think that, yeah.
The big one being like giving up his life to save the world, letting Bucky kill him because he can't kill him himself, and then putting his life on the line to save Bucky from Iron Man, and then everything in the Avengers movies. Like he's a pretty consistent hero boy, which is why everyone would expect the hammer would let him pick it up, but they made him work for it, and that payoff that kind of power will never be reached again in the MCU.
Yeah. I do wonder, like, if we were to just like take Sam as a character and like ignore all the stupid bullshit of like how the quality of the writings declined and stuff, like, would he be worthy of picking up the hammer? Because I feel like he's a fundamentally good person and he wants to do the right
Sure.
thing for people.
So part of the problem for me, and this may seem petty, but I mean, how else am I supposed to analyze this? He's an asshole in Falcon the Winter Soldier, and he's very selfish. So,
But do
like,
the writers see him as that?
absolutely not. They would let. If the question is, would the writers let him pick up the hammer? The answer is yes.
Yeah. No, I think that's a fair assessment.
Dude, they'd have every fucking main character pick that thing up now.
Yeah, it would mean nothing. Yeah.
They probably wouldn't let Thor pick it up though. Like, nah, he's got to be like, he's got to fix his mistake.
My Tigger says, "Dear Muller, I'm considering opening a strip club in Wales and haven't decided on a name yet. How about the Lamb's Head, or the Naked Lamb, or maybe the Shameless Sheep? Your input is much appreciated."
Yeah, you know what? Why not test each of those names and see if you get more people or less, depending on which one you have up front?
Anything that's got sheep in it will probably be a winner, I would say.
Probably be a winner, yeah.
Hound of Ill Omens says, "Good news, drinker. You can make more than one video trying to suss out the different movies that were recut together into this movie." That is true, yeah. I'd love to see all the different variations, actually. Well, maybe that's a stretch. I don't know if I'd love to see them, but it would be kind of interesting to see what
Imagine
it was originally.
On the like Blu-ray, you open up the deleted scenes menu and there's like 70. Like, what?
Or like there's just the, like, you know, when you open up the Lord of the Rings box set that's on like Blu-ray, like Ultra HD, and it's like 7 discs or something.
Yeah.
It would be like that. Like, these are all the different versions of the movie.
Enjoy.
I'm willing to bet that it's totally a continuation of Falcon and the Winter Soldier in terms of tone and themes, and basically lecturing the audience about how they need to do better.
And they tore it all out, yeah.
Yeah. Sam Wallace, "I would pay money to see Jordan Peterson and Boogie go to the supermarket and count the number of times Boogie lies per day." What's Jordan Peterson got to do with that?
Well, I mean, Jordan Peterson and Boogie would be really funny.
I mean, sure. I don't know what they talk about, but might be
true. But
interesting.
yes, Boogie's already back to basically saying he didn't really lie about the cancer.
Oh, that's fine then. Well, if he doesn't think he lied, then I'm convinced.
Yeah, it's fair.
Mr. Stevie says, "The TV didn't cross over to the movies. That's why Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness had the insane drop-off. Everyone went thinking it followed on from No Way Home." I mean, there was also the fact it was shit, but... Yeah,
yeah, there's that.
J-Chain says, "What bothers me about The Thing is his voice and his fluid movements. He's supposed to be a rock." I mean, yeah, but he works differently from normal rocks, I guess. What do I say here? Reiner just says, "Dinosaurs." Perfect.
Fuck yeah.
Clan McEwen Society says, "Assassin's Creed, what are your thoughts on the franchise's health and its future? And will GTA 6 be worth the wait, hype, and expense?" Slange from Kirkcaldy. Nice. Will it be worth the wait? I don't know. Rockstar generally do pretty well with these things. Like, we have been waiting a long time for GTA 6.
I'm just, unfortunately, I'm not big into these franchises, so I just don't have much care about it. Fringy would be the one to ask. He loves GTA, and I think he really likes Assassin's Creed as well.
As for Assassin's Creed, yeah, it sounds like Shadows is going to like fucking bury it. So
yeah,
I'm not too optimistic about that. Yeah, so don't expect good things going forward. John Gates says, "Sony, if you're going to remaster, do it for PS3 games." Yeah, that'd be nice. What was it? Days Gone. They were talking about remastering. Is that what we were discussing the other night?
I think so.
Like, fucking hell! Like that game still holds up just fine even now. I don't need a remaster of that. Jesus.
I think it's just a new model for them of because didn't you see that statement at some point of like, if you want new original games, then buy the remasters from some executive. As in, like, the remasters are the easy and quick way of re-releasing a game that's popular and like just make more money. So, I mean, that makes sense, right? With the remasters we've been getting, it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Margie M says, "Do you all ever see Manuel Garcia Rolfo getting a superhero role? He's the Lincoln lawyer, and he's in the new Jurassic Park or Jurassic World." I honestly don't know enough about him, I'm afraid.
Neither do I.
I mean, I think we're at the point where basically anyone who wants to be a superhero probably can find some franchise to be in.
Yeah.
Big J says, favorite video game composers. Mine is Frank Klepacki. Command and Conquer Red Alert is the best RTS soundtrack of all time. Fuck yeah. The Hell March. It's great. Yeah, composers. Mauler, do you have any?
Knowing I know more movie composers, the soundtracks by name than the game ones, but I mean, I'd probably go by game instead of by composer, and then just be like, yeah, I like their work at their best. So all the classic sort of ones, like Halo at his best, is glorious. Stuff like, I mean, I love the new God of War soundtrack, but Bear McCreary's not 100% reliable when it comes to any given soundtrack. It's kind of what I mean about the whole picking through individual games. Like, I really like the Astrobot soundtrack. Then there's stuff like Journey and I don't know, and then like indie games like Hotline Miami, Super Meat Boy, then older stuff, Banjo-Kazooie. A lot of Nintendo soundtracks are awesome. So it's kind of all over the place for me. Whoever composed the Shadow of the Colossus soundtrack, it's fucking great.
It's nice. It's nice. Yeah, I guess I never know how to say his name. It's like Nobuo Uematsu who did the soundtrack for Final Fantasy VII. Like, man, he was good. He did some good stuff there. Yeah, where's the next one here? Yeah, Brett Leafers says, Hail, Mauler, Emperor of Length. Will you be coming to MegaCon Orlando next year? It was nice to see everyone at the panel.
Not sure, no guarantees. Maybe.
What are you talking about? He was there. You just didn't see him.
Don't tell him.
Yeah.
I still, if it all gets organized, I'm gonna have to like meet up with you first, and then have you introduce me to Gary as some random person, and see how long I can trick him.
That would be pretty fucking cool, actually. I think, to be fair, the moment you opened your mouth and started talking to him, he would know.
That's what I want to test. I want to be like, hey, man, how are you doing? And just see if he's like, wait a minute.
Something's not right here. Anna Nielsen says, Drinker Mauler friendship has ended. War ensues with laser-guided velociraptors. Honorary paleontologist status granted to Mauler for defending fossils. Fossils are cool. Yeah, you have your fossils, Mauler.
Take your fucking fossils.
Just fucking glorified rocks. Jay Fraser 360 says, Mauler, what film / TV show had you close to making a video but stopped for whatever reason? Your reaction to Last of Us Part 2 had me thinking of this.
So, funnily enough, the project that was put on hold for TLJ back in the day was Westworld. I was going to do a breakdown of that.
Oh, I'd love to see you're taking a part of Westworld.
But that never quite made it. Then you have, I made a full script that I really don't want to leave forever for The Boys Season 2. I was very happy with that script. I redrafted it like 3 times. So maybe someday that'll make it somewhere, but it just got interrupted by life. And then funnily enough, Falcon the Winter Soldier, I've got a full script for that. It never made it to the next stage. And yeah, there was some intentions and designs on different things that have happened over the years, but those are the ones that you could maybe expect something happens with them someday, because that's a lot of work to not do anything with. It'll piss me off if I don't.
Yeah. God, all these things that are just waiting there. They're just gathering dust in a folder somewhere. Damn it.
Yep.
Sam Wallace Art. Fun fact, the kiss leg pop was originally an FU to the Hays Code because it says couple can only kiss if at least one foot is on the floor to negate bedtime scenes. So movies put one foot on the ground for every kiss. I did not know that.
What if they're in a bed and one of them has their leg out and on the floor? Does that count?
Oh, yeah, it's going to require a little bit of flexibility, but sure, I guess.
I mean, what if they possess a leg as a prop and they put it on the floor?
It's like it doesn't have to be their leg.
Yeah.
Fucking severed leg lying on the ground.
It counts, damn it. Make up an alien character with like a really long leg.
Silent Evil says, not a lot of 1985 films turning 40 stick out to me. The only ones that come to mind are Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Fright Night, and of course, Back to the Future. Indeed, yes. Papa Pie 707 says, I don't know if you remember me. I'm the blonde kid who ripped ass just before asking to shake your hand last year. You noticed and awkwardly obliged. What?
All right.
Okay. Yeah, well, fair enough, man. I would need to see a picture of you to recognize you because you probably didn't introduce yourself as Papa Pie. Big J says, speaking of Commando, EFAP movies, when? I think we asked that already.
That would be an arc, like 80s action movies and stuff. We'd probably do that at some point.
Be the best goddamn arc you've ever seen.
Yeah.
To the, what's it? T to the J 615 says, was so great to meet you at MegaCon. My friend grabbed you just before you headed to the bar because I was too shy. Made the whole trip for me. Hope to see you again next year. Mauer, you need to join in too. It was a lot of fun and glad I got to say hi to you. So Ryan Brown says, Gross Point Blank is my comedy John Wick before John Wick was cool. John Cusack is a liberal twat, unfortunately. I've not heard much from him in a long time, actually.
Yeah.
Seely Akigbe says, disappointing because you had high expectations. Should have clarified. And what are your thoughts about the US aid fund findings? It's interesting for media and news, I suppose. Like the fact that they've been funding so many things. Now that that's all been cut off, I don't know what it's going to do to a lot of these outlets, whether they'll even survive now. Guess we'll wait and see. Mega Spidey Man says, what Bond do you think was the best ladies' man? I think it was Connery, whether they wanted it or not. He seemed like that kind of Bond.
Maybe that's the answer, yeah. I mean, they all had that was kind of like a requirement for Bond, you know? You gotta make sure you can nail that aspect.
I mean, I'm not a lady, and so I can't really speak on their behalf, but I would imagine him or perhaps Brosnan would be the one they would find most attractive.
We'll have to poll the ladies in the audience.
Sure, yeah. Because like Moore kind of played it more for laughs and stuff, so I don't imagine that appeals too much to them. And Dalton was just so fucking intense and serious. I feel like he would almost terrify them.
Yeah.
And then what have you got left, really? Lazenby? I don't know. No one remembers him, so. Jay Fraser says, what's your favorite Doctor Who regeneration scene? I did like David Tennant's one. Oh, that was nice. They got to say goodbye to all the major people in his life.
I think I've seen all of the new era ones and then most of the old era ones. I do kind of I like a lot of the way they do some of them. Like, you know, the Matt Smith into Peter Capaldi is like this almost instant flash. You know, they obviously did it to subvert expectations on how it was going to run. I kind of find that one kind of fun. It's just sort of like, holy shit, there he is. It's like, yep.
Because they could kind of fall victim to spinning it out a bit too much. You know, it used to be a really quick process that you didn't get much warning for. And like now the Doctor can kind of delay it for like hours or days seemingly and just go off and have their own little, you know, goodbye tour before it actually takes place. It's like, you know.
Well, there's
preferable.
What Capaldi's Doctor ends up saying is like all betrayed by 13's Doctor. You know, when he says like "don't be," and then labels a whole bunch of things that she ends up being. So, I know that there's like a meme of his regeneration. That one blows up the TARDIS, and just kills him, and that's it. That's the actual ending.
Yeah,
none of that from her. But yeah, I think that one's a good regeneration. It's just that it's unfortunate it's into 13.
Yeah. Shaker Silver says, one favorite Millhouse bit. It smells funny in here. Is that the when Homer like makes his own really shitty fun land, like because he's got like a trampoline or something, and then he's got a vision for like this fun land thing, and it's like the castle of fun, and it's just like a bunch of soiled mattresses that he's found like piled together.
Yeah,
and Millhouse goes in like, it smells funny in there, and Homer just goes, no, it doesn't. That's it.
That's no, it doesn't. There you go. It's the counter argument.
I've got big plans for this place, Marge. Big plans. Rick Bain says, waiting for the line in Star Trek. Somehow Khan is back. Yup.
Yeah.
Shark Dentures, Luke's Return of the Jedi? Hell no, I am not giving up my Leia in the gold bikini. She is a selling point. Definitely. General Order says, Drinker, justify your dislike of Last Action Hero. So, I feel like it didn't really make good on its premise, because the idea behind it was pretty cool, but it honestly couldn't decide like what its tone was. Or, you know, when you've got things like the animated cat and shit, it's like it's gone so far into complete nonsense and farce, like it's just barely even recognizable anymore. I feel like I'm more not grounded, but like one that was more even in terms of its tone would have worked better, I think. Perhaps maybe a bit more straight-laced with the action hero tropes and not being so comically over the top. That would have been my choice anyway. Larry says, when Americans says Ray-Bans, they mean Wayfarers like 80s Tom Cruise. True. Big J says, you don't understand, Drinker. JJ was a filmmaker at the top of his craft while filming The Rise of Skywalker. Finn jumped over a barrel.
These are all right EFAB references.
Okay.
We covered someone who he was like, let me list of like things I really loved about The Rise of Skywalker. And he shows this clip where Finn is in the ship and he's moving through it and he has to jump over a barrel. And he's like, look at that. Like, that's great. It really makes you think that the ship is moving. It's like, what?
That's what we're at.
Yeah.
It's like it's a movie and it has scenes in it and people say words. Like, see, it's good
Yeah,
stuff.
he said that the film was clearly made by JJ at the top of his craft, which started to wonder if it was an insult.
This is literally the best he could do. Lord Thoth says, what a massive panel. Hail all. Thank you. It was massive.
Hail.
Jay Fraser says, wait a minute, Drinker, you're telling us that Jeremy, a homosexual, was alone with you in a broom closet while you were drunk and you can't remember? I know, right? Look, things happened. What happens at the con stays at the con, okay? And Sardaukar, 7th Legion, says, have you watched Wolfman, mate? Any thoughts? Haven't seen it yet. The trailers and stuff looked interesting, so I wouldn't be against watching it, for sure.
I've heard it's just bad, but...
Well... Thanks, Molly. You've just killed my passion for that one. I could have given that an amazing review, you know, at the time of my life. But
you're still giving it an amazing review. It could just be amazingly negative.
Yeah, that's true. That was the last of the super chats, though. So thank you, everybody. We appreciate your patronage, and yeah, thank you for asking us so many questions. Many of which were extremely interesting. Some of which were borderline incoherent, and others were just baffling. But that's what makes it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But the next time you see us will probably be on the next open bar on Thursday.
Yeah.
But that is all we've got for today. So go away now.
Bye-bye.